And welcome into our overtime segment here at SportsSource.tv, joined by Michael Spencer from Channel 6, Sterling Hinton, Shazan Bradley, Bobby Scott, the former volunteer football players down there. And this segment brought to you by Jinx Logos. You see the number right there on your screen, 755-7767. That's how you get in touch with Jimmy Andrews. And Jimmy is a working owner. When it comes to logos, yeah, they can help you design logos. But what they really do is they provide the best merchandise possible with your logo on it for giveaway, for your sales staff. If you just want to have a visor that says Sports Source, for example, as I do, you go to Jinx Logos. It's literally like putting someone else on your staff, except you don't have to pay them salary or benefits. It's fabulous. Jimmy Andrews, Jinx Logos. Call them if you have any kind of booster club or sales staff or giveaway need. You will be very, very, very happy that you did. Jinx Logos. All right. Quick question for you in this overtime segment. I did a radio show this week. Guy calls in, angry. You know they're angry. You know they're angry from right off the bat when they say Pennington. You know, when they don't start with your first name. Your first thought is this is going to be a jerk. So the guy calls me and I'm saying, well, if you get injuries, you could have this issues. There's no excuses. And he kept saying hashtag no excuses. And I said, well, I think, and he interrupted, hashtag no excuses. Well, but hashtag no excuses. All right. So eventually we just cut him the hell off, which is why it pays to be on the other side of the button. But my question is, hashtag no excuses. If Tennessee fails to win 8 games this year, are there legitimate excuses that would be acceptable to not the entire fan base? You're always going to have people that are ticked off, but most reasonable people. Are there any excuses that would fit? Can you say schedule? Can you say injuries? What would be a reasonable excuse if Tennessee doesn't win 8 games? And we know, Sterling, they're going to win 15 and the national title.
That's how I see it.
Guys, are there any excuses?
One that's probably not going to be acceptable is the schedule. It's a tough schedule. You look at the top 25. Yeah, Tennessee's 25th. There are 5 teams above them that are on their schedule. That's really tough. You got to go to Alabama. Oklahoma, I don't think that is a shoe-in like most people think.
I don't think they're as down as they looked in that bowl game.
No, I'm not giving Tennessee a free pass on Oklahoma. I think they're going to have to fight to get that win. I think the schedule is probably more difficult than most people are giving it.
Well, there's no doubt the schedule is difficult, but the thing that makes it acceptable to have 8, not to have 8 wins would be if some of the key players get hurt. I mean, real key players get hurt.
Dobbs hurt.
We lose our quarterback. We lose our running back. And this is a collision sport, not a contact sport. That's basketball. It's a collision sport. Injuries happen. So that would be a reason not to have 8 wins. And also, if our fans don't sell out kneeling,
good Lord,
with everybody in kneeling, that would be acceptable for 8 not to win 8
And the problem with those injuries is the drop-off, too. The drop-off is huge.
If you're Alabama and you have injuries, you've got the pipeline going now for a decade. You've got juniors, you got seniors, you got at least sophomores who back. If you're Tennessee, you got a lot of freshmen that are sitting there ready to come in. And we talked about this a little last week with you and Mike Stoll, that yes, next man up and all that.
Absolutely.
But if you're a freshman and you haven't been trained behind some other superstar in front of you, which Mike Stoll was on the offensive line when he was there, it makes it more difficult for just a freshman to be thrown in. It doesn't mean they can't do well. It just means it's more of a question mark, I think. All right.
Well, one thing about it, I've been thrown in the fire as a true freshman at 17.5 years of age, and I somewhat understand the situation. But there is no there's no excuses for losers. There's reasons for losing, but excuses are for losers. You got to look at the coaches. Got to train these guys up. You got to trust the kid, and kids got to trust you. This is what you got to do. This is how you cover your area, and this is the area that you have to cover, and you teach them to do the responsibility. So it's up to a coach to bring these children up step by step by step. And if we lose, it's because we're not doing. You got to look at your systems.
Well, I just look at
but you have to look at the time that he's had. He's just been here 3 years. Make it 5, and then you start saying that.
Yeah.
If we get some people hurt, that's the only excuse I think that you can use. The people are not there. There's not enough depth, quite maybe, but I think that the only excuse is injury to people.
All right.
Otherwise, you go out there and knock people around.
whip their fannies.
Yeah.
When you look at the phrasing of that question, would it have been better if I'd said reasons instead of excuses? Because a lot of people, if you say reasons, they're going to hear excuses. They're going to view it as excuses. You already have people on Twitter saying, when is Butch going to stop using excuses? And it's like, what are you talking about? And the response is, well, he's already talking about 64% of my teams only played 1 year less. I got news for these folks that don't see that all the time. Having done the Mr. SEC thing for a few years, there's not a coach in the league that doesn't do that. That's not excuses. That's just that's preparation. That's preparing the fan base in case something goes wrong. So I don't see it as an excuse. But you said reasons are okay. You said there are reasons, but you don't buy excuses. Okay. Let me ask you this one: is Butch Jones set up to win this year, or is he set up to fail? Because there's some people who say, all right, we know that he can recruit, but can he coach? Here's the thing. If he loses even 1 or 2 games, you're going to point to coaching mistakes in those 1 or 2 games. Unless he's undefeated, there's a group of critics that are always going to be critics out there, I think. So do you think he's set up to fail?
I worry about it because I think he is set up to fail, because I think the expectation is that 8 is your floor.
Yeah.
Right? I think that's the expectation for most people. You got to realize 8-4 is a good year, especially from where this program
2 games
was.
better than last year.
2 games better than last year. The expectations are sky high, and I worry that they may be too high, and I think fans aren't going to be willing to give Coach Jones a break, but I think they should if this team only wins 8 games, because 8-4 is a really, really good season.
Well, 7-5 is a step up.
7-5 is a step.
Well, what I like to say first before I get into my comments, Shazan looks the exact same as he did at 17. He looks the exact same. But what I will say is this. This is Tennessee. And I'm speaking as a player. This is Tennessee.
Here we go.
No, this is more of a hope you understand where I'm coming from versus just the normal, y'all think I'm chilling speaking from my heart. But we expect to win. We expect to win. The bar right here in Knoxville has always been 8 wins. And when we played, it was 9 and 10, and we only had 11 games. So, don't let the bar fall down because of history. Expect the bar to remain high for your future.
But if you don't reach the bar, let's not go saying that Coach Jones needs to go.
If we don't reach the bar, you said let's see how they do this year. All right, so let's say they go 7-5. What are you going to be saying afterwards?
It's still better than last year.
But,
still better than last year.
But if the bar doesn't need to be dropped from 10 or 11.
Well, I'm not dropping the bar. I'm not dropping my expectation. My expectation is to win every game. Be clear on that.
Okay.
Well, so the expectation is the expectation, but you got to show improvement, and I think we will.
I think Coach Jones is back home where I come from. I call it barnstorming, and he's got it. We're going to be okay. He's going to sell low and try to land high, and I think we're going to be successful.
Yeah, and I think most coaches try and do that. I think you're exactly right. Bob, final word. Is he set up to succeed this year, or the expectations? John Adams, for example, picking them 10-2.
Well,
they should only be an underdog in 2 games.
I just don't see us being number 12 at the end of the season. I think we've got an opportunity to improve, and that's what I'm looking for. Just don't go out there and quit on me.
That's right.
And if you don't do that, if you go out there and play hard, then I can take a 7-5, 8-4, and we'll get better next year.
And that's one thing
recruiting.
I think that's one thing you can say about Butch Jones' team so far. You haven't seen them go out and lay down ever. They do tend to fight.
And when I say, John P., the attitude of this year's team, they're expecting to win. They're not just going out there to look good, they're expecting to win. So that's hard to beat when you're on the field.
Whereas at Georgia and Alabama, they're expecting to lose.
Well,
Bowling Green expects to win.
But no, it's the attitude of the player, though, John P. One time we said at this desk, we just want to show good. We just want to go out there and give the best we can. We don't want to quit. It was the time we were discussing that.
Well,
now,
that was
you're going to expect to win attitude, John P. That's something special.
Okay, all right, good point. Because I remember the Lane Kiffin year. You go down there. You play Florida close, you play Alabama close, and we're all applauding him for, hey, he kept it close. So that is a difference. It has changed. Go ahead.
And keep in mind, teams like Bowling Green, they have nothing to lose. If you ever fought a man that has nothing to lose, it's tough. He's tough.
That's how this show has gotten to year 13. All right.
Got nothing to lose.
These guys will be with us all fall long. You'll be seeing them. Michael, of course, your big show, Tennessee Tailgate, comes on what night?
Wednesday at 8 o'clock on WAT 6 on your side here in Knoxville. Sterling will be there. We'll be rocking and rolling.
All right, very good. Thanks to these guys. Thanks to you for checking in. And next week, we start our 13th season of all football coverage. That's hard to believe. unless you check my hair, which has gotten considerably grayer. But we will be breaking it down with 1,000 guys on this show. It's every week for the next 12, 13 weeks. It's just UT football for the best post-game coverage in town. Sundays, 11 a.m. WATE 6. See you then.